So what we've got here is the Phantom Standard 3 and the upgrade to the tablet mount for the Inspire 1, which does fit it. I'm going to mod it now. There we are, it's proper DJI. Okay, so we've got it here. That's your tablet mount with the aluminium bracket and screw. What we're going to do is we're going to screw this, we're going to put it on here like this, and we're going to actually screw that into the controller. And what I've done is I've marked it, lined it up there, marked it just below, so when we drill the holes it's going to actually come forward a little bit, so you don't want it too far forward, so we're going to have it in the right place. Now we've drilled a pilot hole there. Okay, now we're going to get the proper size drill. So before you drill the hole, you need to make sure that there's some wires below that. You've got to remove them, or you actually just put them to the side. So what I did was remove these 4 screws. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can actually, it's a bit hard holding this and doing this at the same time, but you actually split, then it'll actually split like so. When you pull it apart, make sure you've got this little edge here that actually locates under here, so when you put it up, just be careful you don't break it, just be very careful. Okay, these are the wires, so these are all down in the track down there, and there was some glue holding it in, which I've removed there. I just levered them out so they're out of the way. You need to make sure they're pulled back, because if you drill through that and that actually catches the wires, you're in big trouble. Okay, so just make sure they're out of the way. I see that's my pilot hole there. Okay, I'm going to make that bigger now so that it actually fits the screw. I'm going to screw this directly into the plastic casing, because it has got thread on it. I've watched a few videos and this seems to be pretty sturdy, just screwing into the plastic. Some people use metal inserts, but I don't think it looks like it needs it. So I'm just going to screw that into the plastic, that thread. It looks like on this one that perhaps the newer controllers, they've actually moved the wires down, or they've pulled them out of the way, so probably thinking people are going to be doing this mod quite a lot. So I would move them anyway, just to make sure that you don't catch it when the drill goes through, because that wraps around that drill, that's going to pull all your wires out, so just be very careful about that. So then what I do is I'm going to put the back on, because it just supports it, you know, you're not putting any of the boards on the floor, anything like that. So I'm just going to put this back on. Make sure you hook that under on the back there, that needs to hook. You see that? Just needs to hook under there. Okay, make sure we do that, else you could end up breaking it, just be very careful. So I've got it back, I haven't screwed it in or anything, I've just put it back on just so we've got somewhere to support it. Okay, so that's the pilot hole. I'm going to make that bigger with the proper size drill. So on the videos I've watched, our friends in the USA actually use let's say a 7/32 size drill. I think that's Imperial, but I've measured it and it's actually what you need is a 5mm. So you'll be looking for a 5mm drill. Okay, so we've done the pilot hole. Now we do the main hole with the 5mm drill. Right, so when you're doing this, just be very careful that you don't actually follow through. So just do it very, that's all you need to do, that's all you need to do, not deep at all. So you're not even taking it in, well, about 3 mil. Just make sure that you don't go too far in, because you don't want to do any damage. So we've done that. Now we've got the attachment. That's going there. So we need to put that in now. We're going to put that in there and just we're going to put this in now. So out of the way. Right, so we're going to slot that in. Like that. Perfect. Alright, so it's loaded over there. So what we've got to do now is where the thread is, we're going to get turn that in there. Now I'm going to need some pliers to do this. Let's get some. I've got a bit of rag, any rag, you know, just I don't want to damage the screw, just purely for cosmetic reasons. So you just put that around there, and I've got me pliers. One sec, like this. I'm just going to tighten it up like that. Just make sure that you've got something around it so it doesn't damage the metal. Right. So when you've got the thread started, I think it's a good idea to actually put the screw in, because that will just stabilise it and it probably will level it up, so it doesn't lean to the right or anywhere. So use your special screwdriver, tighten up. Just really nice and tight, not too tight, don't want to strip the screw. Okay. Once that's done up, then you can just carry on. I actually found, I tried this thing here, it's a bit too cumbersome. So what I've done, I've gone back to the old pliers. So just put a some card or anything around there just to stop it marking it. Get your pliers on there, secure it. I make sure you hold it with your hand. Obviously I can't hold it because I'm filming this with my left hand, so I shall put this down and show you what it looks like when I've done. Here we are then. So for now I've tightened it all the way up. Make sure that you don't over tighten it. You don't want to be stripping the thread as soon as you've got it in. So yeah, I've got the screw in there, I've got that on there, it looks pretty straight. Yeah, I'm just gonna screw the back on now, and that's job done. Thing to remember, and what I found I didn't think of it till after, is if I go to my case that I've got now, I don't think it's going to fit in there, so I'm going to have to trim my case out to make it fit. I think there's a video on YouTube somewhere how to do that. So right, well, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Obviously if it all goes wrong, it's not my fault. You do it under your own, you do it yourself. I'm not responsible, and good luck.